Hello, my name is Camille Corbett, and I'm going to be doing a book review on Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. Okay, this book I had to read for a class, but I'm still going to review it for you guys because, you know what? There might be some Defoe enthusiasts who haven't read Robinson Crusoe who want to know about it before they read it, or there might be some Defoe enthusiasts that want to know what I think about Defoe, which I don't understand why they would care. But whatever. Because of this, I'm reviewing it because as a reader, I hear about this book a lot. And until class, I never had to read it. And I'm glad that I have been able to read it, and I've been told to read it in class because I don't know if I would have gotten to it, or I probably would have, but I wouldn't have had to have the lovely discussions I had and all that good poop. But I give this book a 4 out of 5. Actually, a 3 out of 5. A 3.5. It was one of the first English novels, ever. But I love it. I like how you can see his, psyche throughout the book. I like that. I think it's interesting, Robinson Crusoe's way of thinking throughout the book. And even though it's not, exactly like all the novels I've read, because this is a very early novel, it was fairly easy to read, and I was really able to sympathize with the character, and I was really interested in the character, and towards the end it got a little weird, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Okay, so this book, if you guys are unaware about, the simple plot, is about this guy, and he's, middle class in England. He's this is boring. I don't want to be, the whole, parable, God doesn't want you to be, lukewarm. He wants you to be hot or cold, or he's going to spit you out. Well, he was the exact same way. He did not like the warm life. He was looking for some adventure or death. He was like, I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to get up and get out. So he did that, and shit got real. Well, he went through a lot of adventures, which is fairly interesting. He met some savages, and he got shipwrecked more than once. It was just really interesting, and at one point he gets shipwrecked on the island for a very, very long time. He even goes to Brazil, and he starts a little plantation, which eventually makes him a shit ton of money. So this is a great book. It's very interesting. If you like adventure, read it, and if you don't, read it, because then maybe you'll learn to, because this is cool adventure things. Or if you're interested in slave trade, the way he treats the slaves, not okay. The way he treats people that are brown, not okay. As a person that is brown, I'm whoa, Defoe, let's stop. But whatever, I'm not gonna judge him. He was born during imperialism. Anyways, this is a pretty good book. I'm gonna read you a bit of it. 3.5 out of 5. Remember, pretty good for an early novel. It's very, if you like David Copperfield, you should like Robinson Crusoe. I'm going to read you a bit. I was born in the year 1632 in the city of York, of a good family, though not of that country, my father being a foreigner of Bremen, who settled first at Hull. He had a good estate by merchandise, and leaving off his trade, lived at York, from whence he had married my mother, whose relations were named Robinson, a very good family in that country, and from whom I was called Robinson Crusoe. But by the usual corruption of words in England, we are now called, nay, we call ourselves, and write our name, Crusoe, and so my companions always called me. I had 2 elder brothers, one of the lieutenant colonel to an English recruitment of foot in Flanders, formerly commanded by the famous Cole Lockhart, and was killed at battle near Durkirk against the Spaniards. What became of my second brother, I never knew any more than my father and mother did know what was become of me. Being the third son of the family, and not bred to any trade, my head began to be filled very early with rambling thoughts. My father, who was very ancient, had given me a competent share of learning, as far as house education in the free country school generally goes, and designed me for the law. but I would be satisfied with nothing but going to sea, and my inclination to this led me so strongly against the will, nay, the commands of my father, and against all entreaties and persuasions of my mother and other friends, that there seemed to be something fatal in that propension of nature, tending directly to the life of misery which was to befall me. My father, a wise and grave man, gave me serious and excellent counsel against what he foresaw was my design. He called me one morning to his chamber, where he was confined by the gout, and expostulated very warmly with me upon this subject. He asked me what reasons, more than a mere wandering inclination, I had for leaving my father's house in my native country, where I might well be introduced, and had a prospect of raising my fortunes by application and industry, with a life of ease and pleasure. As you can see, this is kind of wordy, but it's good. It's good, especially if you're used to literature near that time period. Check it out. 3.5 out of 5. Good. Have a lovely day.